Alright everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody had an awesome Halloween. I know I did. Love it. I also had fun doing my marathon, so if you haven't checked out my 31-day Halloween marathon, go ahead and check it out. It's 31 days full of games ripe for the Halloween season, even though it's past. They're still good games, well, most of them. Anyway, I was going to do a Metroid Dread release review, but I was so busy with the Halloween marathon videos at that time I could barely keep up with that one. So at this point, doing a Metroid Dread review now is like pointless. Then I thought about doing one on the new ActRaiser release. Okay, never mind. Then I thought, so much for that idea. Okay, I am running out of ink here. You know what? There are other great Metroid games. Let's talk about that. Let's go with that. But before I go any further, let me make this clear. I hope Nintendo doesn't find out where I live. I'm not making this video in order to dissuade anyone from buying Metroid Dread. In fact, I would like to say for the record, just a reminder, Metroid Dread is $59.99 right now on Nintendo eShop. Oh god, why am I sweating? Okay, with that said, I want to bring attention to two other Metroid games I came upon a while back that also deserve attention from the Metroid community. Buy Metroid Dread. First is Metroid AM2R. Now, if you've never heard of this project, it was a color graphically updated version of Metroid 2, Samus Returns, which was released for the Game Boy all the way back in 1991. Which makes that game 30 years old now. Wow, how time flies. Now, the AM2R stands for Another Metroid 2 Remake. It was created in the span of 10 years by Argentinian game programmer Milton Guasti. I apologize if I mispronounced that name. And he got help from lots of talented individuals when word got out about the project. Many contributed in adding new artwork, enemy designs, and other improvements toward the game before it was released to the public in 2016. Now, this here is the culmination of that collaboration. Please don't kill me, Nintendo. Now, it was his way to recreate the Game Boy game with updated graphics and gameplay, since at that time, Part 2 had never been revisited by Nintendo. I mean, we got the awesome Metroid Fusion, one of my all-time favorites, and then we have Zero Mission. Now, I took interest in this game since I had never played the Game Boy version back in the day, and the thought of revisiting a game in greenish hues and limited slow gameplay, I'll be honest, it does not interest me at all. The Game Boy never did, sorry. Now, luckily this game over here took care of all those worries. He took elements from Zero Mission and Super Metroid since he wanted to capture the claustrophobic dread plus the gameplay both those games provided to the gamers and incorporate those aspects into AM2R. When I first played it, I immediately felt the gameplay of Zero Mission. The controls on the game are extremely tight and very responsive. While Samus' movement is a tad bit too fast and requires a bit to get used to at first, but it is good controls nonetheless. All the general moves of Samus are here, including grabbing onto ledges and bouncing off walls to further jump towards higher locations. I like the option to shoot while holding onto a ledge. I'm not saying this is the first time you see it, but I love it nonetheless. That way you're not left vulnerable while climbing from platform to platform, and you will be doing that a lot in this game. If for some reason you don't like the way the controller layout is, you can actually map buttons differently through the options menu in the game, as you can see here. You can play this game with a keyboard, but yeah, why would you? Now, aside from great controls, you also get the very helpful map system introduced back in Super Metroid. One thing that it does not do is hold your hand the entire way, the way Fusion did, which is probably the only thing I didn't like about Fusion. Now, the Game Boy game also had your playing field zoomed in greatly compared to the NES version. Now, some people out there actually liked this view since it lent to that feeling of claustrophobia and fear, since you had no idea what was just around the corner at all times. Now Milton and the other programmers had to change some of the level designs in later levels since the wide, large screen took away from the original closed quarters combat. According to notes online, the later levels were made to be darker and more claustrophobic to slightly alter the gameplay alongside the more aggressive Metroid behavior. The game came out all the way back in 2016 before Nintendo sent a cease and desist letter to Milton, forcing him to shut down the site download links at that time. Eventually the game was made available online, and it's still available today for free. It's a great remake and possibly one of the best fan-made games, on par with an official Nintendo developed game, in my opinion. The fact that Milton was not a programmer when he started making this game, just mind-blowing in my book. Milton, wherever you are, sir, my hat's off, great job.
Metroid Dread.
Now the other game I wanted to talk about is another fan-made game, and if you're a huge Metroid Prime fan, this one here, specifically for you. What we have here is Metroid Prime 2D. Now this game had its demo released back on April 1st of this year, 2021, and it was developed by Team SCU, or SCU, over the span of 3.5 years. The team is led by the following people. Not gonna try to pronounce these names because I'm gonna butcher them all to hell. I mean, Matthew? What kind of name is that? Now the demo is freaking gorgeous, and it's a basic reimagining of Metroid Prime. If you've never played Metroid Prime on the GameCube, I want you to stop this video right now and go play it. I don't care how, just go play it now. Actually, I really should have left that for the end of the video. I guess in today's age, to say a game has good graphics is almost automatic. But for some reason, you take a look at the intro screen here and realize you're about to experience something great. It closely resembles the original title screen from the GameCube version. I'm going to put both side by side here. Oh, and what a demo it is. This game starts you off on Talon Overworld, bypassing the intro from the original. The lush environment and backgrounds all look crisp, and they look great in high def. You're also going to pass by the Chozo ruins and some other parts from the GameCube game. The demo unfortunately is playable only via a keyboard and mouse. I know it's a strange way to play a 2D Metroid game, and it took me a bit to get used to. Actually, I'm still getting used to it. But you know what, I kinda like it. You can snipe at enemies from a long distance using this control scheme. I'm pretty sure that the finished product will include controller support. At least I hope so. Because just by looking at me here play, you can tell I am horrible using the keyboard and mouse. Horrible. I also like how the HUD is located right above the screen, and you don't really have to go into another menu or another screen to access this information. It's all right there on the screen at all times. You're also going to have to be doing a lot of scanning of different items to read up on objects and details that you might need to progress in the game, just like in the GameCube version. Now I have yet to finish the demo since I suck big time playing any game actually with a keyboard. Yes, even suck at text-based games with a keyboard. That's how bad I am. Now the music is a rendition of the original game soundtrack tweaked with violins that give you somewhat of an orchestra sound. Very cool stuff here. Yeah, my apologies for the audio. It sounds messed up, and that's because my PC basically starts to sweat whenever I use Game Bar to record video and audio. But I love what I see, and I'm sure that any fan out there that plays this game is going to agree with me that this demo right here shows so much promise, and I, for one, can't wait until the next demo or the full game. So these two Metroid titles are not officially endorsed by Nintendo, but that doesn't mean that they don't meet that Nintendo quality and gameplay standard. And it also doesn't mean you shouldn't try them. They are both free to download, and they are a blast to play. Check them out. Highly recommended. After you finish Metroid Dread, of course. Oh god, why am I sweating? And I'm short of breath. God. Hope you all enjoyed this little insight into some other Metroid games worth your time after Dread. Feel free to leave any comments and subscribe if you like this video. Until next time, take care of... Pizza? I didn't order any. Hello?